Hi guys. This is the Binti Love Podcast, 5 points, 5 stars review, and I am your I am your host, Binti Love. Okay. Now what I'm reviewing today is the Real Housewives season 15, episode 5 of the Binti Love Podcast. Okay. So let me just say I gave this episode 5 out of 5 stars. And point number one, let me comment again and say that, and also to say what was the episode really about. What was this episode about? I really have no idea what this episode is about. But I mean, it's like so many new faces, and I can barely count them. It's like new people, and it just seems like it had no rhyme or reason. Like it was just stuff happening, but it wasn't really concentrated or focused. So, yeah. Okay. Wanted to comment on that. Point number two, let me report. Did Marlo really knock hard on the door with Kenya slightly there? Let's take a look at all these beautiful ladies. Yes. So, okay. So here's all the beautiful ladies here. And just want to say that, so here's Marlo and Kenya. They're all dressed very, very nicely and things of that sort. Look like they all can get along, and they really have Marlo and Kenya placed right next to each other. Wow. Okay, but in this episode, uh, Kenya was there and like, okay, they're all at the hotel. I didn't get what the episode was about and what they were supposed to allegedly be there for something with Kenya. I couldn't gather that. But apparently, so Kenya was in the hotel. They all had their different hotel rooms. And so okay, all the other girls came to Kenya's room and Marlo's knocking on the door. And then Kenya sticks her head out. And then Marlo keeps knocking on the door with Kenya's head right there in the doorway. Like her neck and her head's right there. And um, Kenya's neck was sticking out and her head was sticking out the door. And Marlo's like still knocking with her actually having the door open, looking at them like, who is this, And then Marlo kept knocking on the door, and then she started kicking the door while Kenya was still there with her head out the neck. And so, Kenya got a little like, what are you doing? Stop this, Basically, she said something according to that, that I gathered. And I'm just like, wow, that's, you don't want to have your neck out the door and stuff like that. Someone banging on the door with their neck out there. But I don't know. I thought that was not really cool. And did everyone else see that too? Or was it just me? Did Marlo really do that? Which brings me to my next point, which is my criticism. Point number 3. Please, ladies, still have adequate when you do not really like someone as much as others. Because that could have gone another way for Kenya. So please be mindful of others. Like, maybe Marlo likes, the rest of them more than Kenya. But I don't think Marlo would have did that to her, or Candy per se. So just be mindful. That's point number 3, my criticism. Point number 4, my MVP moment, most valuable player moment or performance moment. is it goes to Kenya. Yeah, it's about Kenya this episode. Seemed to me to be like that anyway. But yeah, for Kenya to know when to take herself to the hospital. Apparently she had they're saying that she had I thought she had the flu, the COVID first. She caught the COVID. And then apparently she didn't. She was thinking she has the flu and things of that sort. So she just really didn't feel good. And so it's really good to be able to take yourself to the hospital and get yourself checked out. Very important thing to do. Okay. And okay, so is this a research moment or a teachable moment, guys? It's a teachable moment. Now, plain and simple, guys. Never stick your head out the door. If anything can show that, this episode really showed that can go another way. So never stick your head out the door. Um, you know, look out the door first, out of the viewer, and see who is it there and stuff like that. And then basically open the door all the way up or down. But never stick your head out the door. Because people kick it, bang on it while your head's out there. And, people, and Kenya's, let's just say, Kenya's head was a little lower than Marlo, so she could have just kept knocking an initial point, not realizing that Kenya, she didn't see her on eye level. But the kick after that right there was a little bit tough to see. I didn't like that. Let me just say it like that. And that's that teachable moment. Be aware of those things, guys. Okay. Now, before I move on to point number 5, I just want to say subscribe, guys. This is the 5 points, 5-star review. And tell 10 people to subscribe too. Okay. All right, now moving on to point number 5. The most loving moment is, Kenya went to the hospital. This was not the episode for her to be a very happy camper. So she definitely wasn't a very happy camper at all. And, but, she still tripped on and she was there. But, so, finally, the ambulance did come and things of that sort. But, and she did take herself to the hospital. And, it was great that when she did go to the hospital, they called her, video chatted or something of that sort. And, basically let her, prayed for her, like they all, after the call, all went together and in a circle and they prayed for her. And I thought that was a great, beautiful gesture for them to do because, you just never know these days, and things of that sort. So I definitely like them when they are more friendly to one another. And, I just think that Marlo was being very, very aggressive. I don't like her aggressive side that she kind of shows sometimes. I think that I want the nicer Marlo back. We like the nice Marlo, right, guys? Yes. And so, this kind of reminds me of a prior episode where Kenya kind of pulled out her chair a little bit for one of the other people who were on the show, another celebrity back in the day, and they were kind of fighting, not fighting, but squabbling a little bit over another cast member. And Kenya pulled out her chair. So let me help you and pull your chair out. Allegedly, she said something like that. I thought that was kind of like tipping over to a little bit irresponsible. And I think that's what Marlo did, that it was pretty irresponsible for her to kick the door and bang on the door when someone's head stuck out there. And so, no approval of that. That was not a good thing for me. But, the nice thing is that, everyone, including Marlo, did pray, um, and things of that sort when you had to go to the hospital. And so that's always good. The most loving moment. Point number 5, guys. Okay, guys. It's time to say goodbye. And make sure to subscribe, guys. And tell 10 people. Bye, guys.